Okay, your man Diamond K in here, of course, the Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com, Radio on Fire. That was an amazing song. I'm in his studio rocking off to that, and we are pleased to be joined by the artist featured on this song. How is it going today?
Pretty good. How have you been?
Wonderful. Mr. Devon Howard in the building. Singer, songwriter, producer. What can you say about the song that we just played?
It's just a love song, you know what I'm saying? A classic love song. It's funny because when I was writing it, there was a part that I was going to take out, and I said, I'm going to keep it. And I used it. It worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the vibe. And like you said, classic love song. There is not enough of that real R&B feel right now. So I'm glad that you're bringing that. Speaking of the R&B feel and all of that, I want to go back to the beginning. Where were you born, by the way?
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, as was I.
Yeah.
What are your earliest musical memories?
Wow. For me, my earliest musical memories was my father, because he was a writer as well. And I remember him waking up. I'm the youngest of five, so I remember him waking up my siblings in the middle of the night to play music. And so I think that's where my passion came from. And the other thing is the Jackson 5. I remember being really young, and they had a summer special or something on. I was just really intrigued by that. And then, of course, Michael's Jackson stuff from that point forward, was just incredible. And the Barge.
Okay. So I was going to ask some of the artists that were played around the house coming up. So obviously you say Michael Jackson and the Barge. Yeah. Who else?
I've heard a lot of stuff because my father would play the oldies, the oldie but goodie records. Yeah. So they stayed on repeat during the weekend. And my sisters would listen to, I know, a lot of gospel records, the Clark sisters and, a lot of other gospel artists that were out at the time. And my brother was listening to hip hop, and, it was just a lot of music playing in the house.
Yeah, so it's just a whole mixture of different influences. So did you know at an early age that you were going to be bit by the musical bug, or did it come later?
No, I did. Again, with my father, he had a huge passion for music. And, he would talk to me about like composition and listening to certain things and, kind of delving into the production part. I was really young, and it made a lot of sense as I got older, but I was really intrigued at a young age. I wasn't even a teenager yet.
So your father, obviously being that influence, what about your other family members and your friends? How did they react to you getting into music?
I think in my household it was normal. Everybody kind of had some musical ability, either singing or playing instruments or whatever. And my friends usually, by the time I was a teenager, I was mostly musical friends anyway. I gravitated toward people who were musicians or singers, and I really learned a lot from them.
Yeah. So, did you have the opportunity to get involved with the talent show circuit?
Not really. I think I probably did like one talent show. And one of the reasons is I went to the Baltimore School for the Arts. And so during those years, it was just a lot of development. I went there as a dancer, though, but the discipline really helped me when it came to music. And I kind of locked in, I think, mostly in the studio. And so I didn't really get to do the circuit as much. I think I did one show. And then from there, just mostly studio until I got signed.
Right. So what about stage fright? Is stage fright something that you've ever had to deal with?
It's weird, right? Because I think I'm probably more stage fright days before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm petrified. But a lot of times, you rehearse a lot, so you're prepared. And so when I get to the venue, see the stage, hear the sound system, it just kind of goes away a little bit. And so, once I get on the stage, I'm okay. I mean,
All
there's
right.
a little bit left.
A little bit, but yeah.
Not as much as, days before.
I talk to a lot of artists, and I'm an artist myself. But one thing that I really that really sticks out to me about you is, having a I guess the backbone, the background as far as a school of the arts, and then use words like discipline and I'm prepared because, constantly rehearsing, and it's different than, I think that part is so important, and that part is missed a lot of times when artists take another path. And I'm sure that has helped you, along your journey. So you're at the School of the Arts. When does your, introduction happen as far as getting signed? How did that come about?
So I, was working in the studio with a few people, and one of the guys introduced me to another singer, and we started working together, found a third, created a group. We were not really ready yet. We were still really young. And then, long story short, he went off and created another group, and they broke up, and we got back together. And within less than a year, we got a deal with RCA Records.
So that's big. And then so you're in this group, and like you said, everybody in the house pretty much has musical ability. So I think that you had that experience with working with other talents and balancing that. How was it being a part of a group though with people that weren't your family?
Interesting. It's just different personalities, but I think musically it was amazing, the bringing together different types of vocalists, and we created some really great music. I think we had a really nice sound. I think musically we were really good.
And so the RCA, the experience with RCA is, you got your A&R, you got, a whole, red tape to get stuff done. There's a whole lot of moving parts. How was the major label experience as a whole?
I don't want to get in trouble here.
Yeah.
But no. But I think for me, because I think I'm an artist first, right? And so the fame stuff, that's, it's cool. I like to create. And sometimes when you sign with a major, they have so many moving parts and so many people coming in to do so many things that your ideas and your creativity kind of get pushed to the back, especially early on, like your first project or so. And you just you learn the game. I just really sat back and learned a lot, but I was really itching to kind of jump in and kind of be creative, which never happened in that situation. So that's why I kind of value the independent route, because I get to get out all the creative stuff that I hear and see and feel. So, but I appreciate the experience. I value the experience. It's a lot of moving parts. And the one thing that I learned the most about, especially major label, it's a business, And so I think coming into it as a creative, it's like, oh, okay, there's another part to this that I need to pay attention to.
Absolutely. And that's what I tell folks a lot. Like you said, it is a business, and the major label route, they look at you as an investment.
Yes.
And they treat, unfortunately, the artist like a commodity, like not like a living thing, but like an item.
Is a product.
Right. It's exactly. And, for an artist like yourself, somebody that is into the art form, a lot of times you can become disillusioned with that because it takes the love out of it and it strictly becomes numbers on a spreadsheet. And so I'm glad that you still have that love and desire for the art form. Because some people can lose it in that process.
Well, I've had moments though. I've had moments where it was so crazy. Yeah. Just the paperwork and the politics and all the stuff that goes with it that there was nothing. I couldn't create nothing. I was just so drained that maybe for a year or two, or so, I couldn't do anything. I just I couldn't feel it. And then I had to kind of get rid of everything and just say, you know what, let me just create. I'm not going to think about management. I'm not going to think about labels. I'm not going to think about business. I'm not going to think about none of that. I'm just going to create. And, I think that was the best route for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And definitely, what you're describing is, definitely writer's block. I'm sure that's something that you've had. How, even when you're not having a time when, things are going up and down, but you're in a good space, how do you deal with writer's block?
I don't know. I get terrified, to be honest, because you think it's gone. It's like, oh God, is it over? But then I'll hear music. I'll hear some music, and I'm inspired by that piece of music, and it just flows out. It just comes out, and it's like it's back. You have to be inspired, Yeah. Like I can write, but I like to be inspired by something. Usually, when I hear music, like an instrumental. I feel it. I feel like I can lay into it like another instrument, right? Mm-hmm. And that kind of brings me back into the creative fold. Yeah,
definitely. Who inspires you now? What artist do you listen to? What do you like right now that's out?
I don't know. It's weird because, I'm stuck on Spotify. Like I've created playlists. So everything's like oldies for me, like 80s, 90s. So, but Kim, I really love his style, Kevin Ross too. Kind of, especially from the writing perspective and the production perspective, I really like their style. There's so many independent artists out too that I've been listening to. So, but commercially it's just a different vibe because I think my vibe is love songs. It has a modern feel, but more 90s ish, vibe. Yeah. So, I'm still listening to that era as well. Mostly.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good music. Just tuning in, Diamond K in here, Devon Howard. We want to take a quick break and, I want to take a quick musical break and I want to come back. I want to talk about what you have coming up. I want to talk about new music and upcoming events and all that kind of good stuff. All right. Stay tuned. It's the Diamond K Show. Devon Howard, special guest, and I will be back right after this. And we are back. You made Diamond K in here, Mr. Devon Howard. Another amazing record.
Thank you.
And great video to go with it. It's definitely it brings back that feeling. That feeling. It's really, really good. Talk a little bit about that record that we just heard.
So that's the third single from this album. And what I wanted to do, because the first two were kind of similar in a way, kind of get back to a smooth kind of feel that I used to do, and that I like, and just a kind of flowing type of thing, just a nostalgic classic type of, feel to it. So another love song.
Yeah. And, definitely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with love. And so you got a new project coming.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about that. What is the record? What is the movement? What can we expect?
So the album is Morning Sun, which includes the 3 singles that are out, and it's out March 5th. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and so what is the thought behind it? What's the concept?
Well, again, like for me as a writer, it always come back to love in some form, right? And Morning Sun came about because I'm always up, like my creativity comes in at night. So 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm up recording, writing, doing something musical. So I would always go to sleep when the sun was coming up, and I would kind of look out and I would see the sun come up, and I felt like a lot of creative information was being uploaded into me at that time. And I would go to sleep and I wake up and I have all this new stuff. And so it's like the light kind of downloaded into me and, and gave me this creativity. Yeah. So I'm the son of the light, so to speak.
Definitely. And, we're moving into that springtime, and I think that it is a great time to release music, coming out of the winter, going into, to that good weather, and folks are outside more, and it's perfect time for it. So you have an event coming up?
Yes. It's just a listening session.
That's a private event, right?
Yeah, it's a private event.
Right. So, yeah, my bad. Right. So you got that. And then as far as the rest of the year, what does it look like?
So I'm starting to get ready. I want to get back to rehearsing so I can get back out on the road and doing shows. And I do want to start releasing more stuff even toward the end of the year. So I want to get back in the studio as well with that and create more stuff. Just kind of keeping it going. Yeah.
Definitely. So as far as the independent route, that gives you more control. It gives you more opportunity to really dive into that artistry. And anybody that you want to shout out as far as your team?
So the videos that you played were directed by Alvin Gray, who is incredible. I've worked with him for years, and he's just one of those creative people that you can tell him an idea and he can make it happen, right? And so you can tell him you want to shoot on the moon, and you're on your way to the moon to shoot. He's that creative. So Lolita, and I worked with her for years as well, doing pictures and photos, and same thing with her. She's very committed. And we work really well together. Anytime I have an idea, just to put some ideas down on film or photo, I can call her up and she's there. And we're shooting. We're trying to come up with different, movements or locations and stuff like that. Just staying in the creative space. So they really helped me a lot. They've been a part of my team for a very long time. And Rodney Mosley, who set this interview up, he's been very helpful. A lot of other people, Samir Singletary, who's from Baltimore, he's in Atlanta now. He did a lot of production on the album. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing: like you're throwing out these names. I know all of these folks. Very, very professional people. Good team. And when you say that you're independent and you don't want the red tape of a major label, is understandable. And then when you're doing it on the independent side and you have great people in your corner, like the folks that you've named, there's nothing but success that can come from that. So definitely, I'm excited about that. And you also are active online. Folks can check out your website. And you're on social media and all of that. How do you like the digital side of things as opposed to the analog side, like CDs? And do you like it better, things being digital?
I do. In some ways, I miss analog a little. I think because the digital can be very, you got to figure it out. Right? I'm still figuring certain things out, especially on the promotional end. There's so much that you can do that I haven't quite figured out yet in regards to using it fully. But as far as being able to listen to music on my phone, in the car, wherever I want to, I love that part, that I don't have to carry a CD around or CD player around.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I like that part.
Agreed. And I come from an era of record stores, and when we worked a record, we had to actually go to the market to work the record, right?
Yeah.
And so that is physically, as you know, packing up, driving or flying whatever city you're trying to promote in, and going there, and you're going to the radio station, you're going to the clubs, you're doing all those things, and that's still involved. Yeah. But now with the internet, we can touch those cities. You can really touch the people, right? At the click of a button, you can promote in wherever. We're in Baltimore. We can promote in Philly. We can promote in Miami. We can promote
anywhere in the world. Actually,
anywhere in the world. Yeah. And your fans have access to you. You can, so it is just an amazing thing. Yeah. As far as streaming, if you were making music in the 90s or early 2000s and you understood that CD game, the money is different, right?
Yeah.
But I think that it's better because it can come easier.
Yes. And like you said, you're locked in around the world. So where you would, have to kind of go to certain places and you kind of can get that market. Now you can just get the world. And so you have a bigger reach, quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As far as social media, how can folks stay in touch with you on social media?
So my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram is Devon Howard 3000. So that's consistent throughout, Devon Howard 3000. And my website is devonhowardmusic.com.
Right. And you're active on social media. Do you have a favorite a social site?
No, really. I think one of the things that I've been doing is kind of, I only use social media to kind of promote music and stuff. I think, I'm just trying to be mindful of how addictive social media can be. And so about a year ago, I kind of pulled back a little bit. So I'm not really using it as much unless I'm promoting something or something musical, or, a birthday or something like that.
Yeah. No, I get that. And definitely it is it can definitely be addictive if you use it incorrectly. it can definitely be. So again, the new music drops when?
March 5th, which so happens to be my brother's birthday, and my birthday is actually March 8th.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Wow. So that is good, and that will be available on all streaming platforms and all that good stuff. So I'm looking forward to playing that, hearing that. I'm looking forward to this journey that you are on and this next phase of your career.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, just thank you for hosting me tonight, and I had a great time.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I, as I said, I look forward to following your journey, hearing the new music, and hopefully checking you out this summer live on stage somewhere.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. So, of course, everybody, that was singer, songwriter, producer, artist extraordinaire, Devon Howard. You can find out more about him on his website, devonhowardmusic.com. And, so you know me, I love music. As y'all can see, my turntables, where you can see my turntables are behind me, and all types of music. And it is that feel good R&B that he's bringing. I really enjoy that. And, I definitely encourage everybody to check it out. And, we're going to play, one of his songs again, and then we're going to come back, and I have a whole lot of stuff to dive into. I have a gang of stuff to talk about. And we'll be back right after this. Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here. Of course, the Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com, radio on fire.com. Wow. It has been a lot going on today. If you are an AT&T phone user and some Verizon folks, you were not you were not having a good day today because your phone was, your phone was on some stuff. So they're talking about, they think that this was some type of a cyber attack, some type of, well, they're investigating. It's possible that that's what was going on. Many folks woke up today to some really craziness, because when you pick up your phone and it does not work, that is a problem. So there's this cellular outage Thursday morning in the U.S. Was reported by AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and other network users. Not cool. Not cool. This is what we have to look forward to in the days and years to come. So just a lot of folks online talking about this. AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, national cellular outage. Now, of course, everybody was not out, but a lot of folks were. And it's funny because I'm seeing folks on my timeline, some folks saying that phone's, not working at all. Some folks saying that it is working. And all of these kind of things going back and forth. Now, my phone was working just fine. I did not have any problems with my phone. Thankfully, that doesn't mean I'm not going to have any in the future. But it's just crazy that we have this kind of stuff going on. So, I guess it started like around 4:30 this morning, 4 a.m., something like that. And, so mobile providers, as I said, AT&T had the highest number of issues, with close to 32,000 reported at 4 a.m. this morning. Now, this is a number that increased. Now, the outages really affected, calling status and the such. Different sources were affected. There also was about 800 service outages reported from other service providers like Verizon, like T-Mobile, but AT&T hit the hardest, hit the most. And what does this mean? Don't think that y'all getting any money back. Y'all not getting no money back. All y'all AT&T users talking about, my call's not going through, what they're going to do for me, blah, 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 blah. That is not going to happen. So you're seeing all kind of stuff online. Fox News reporting that it was Chinese, spyware, something like that. But tens of thousands of folks, AT&T customers reporting these problems, starting this morning in the U.S. Now, as of about 11 a.m., AT&T said that it had made some progress in restoring network coverage. About 3/4 of the services were operating normally, they said. And they said that they're trying to work as quickly as possible to get things back up. By mid-afternoon, AT&T said that service had been fully restored. They said that their affected customers were good. This was at about 3:10 Eastern Standard Time. They said that they apologized to all affected customers. Keeping their customers connected remains the top priority, and they're taking steps to ensure that customers do not experience this in the near future. So as of noon today, there had been about 40,000 reports of service issues from AT&T customers, down from the peak. Now, at the peak, it was more than 70,000 reports. Most of the complaints were focused on problems with the phone or the wireless service. So, if you think about this, this is the core of their business. This is the core of their business. And if they can't get, if they can't keep these phones connected, I don't know. If they can't keep these phones connected, I don't know what is what's going to happen, or where things are going to go. So they are a big company, a $1 billion company with a lot of resources, a lot of ability to get a handle on this thing. But I really want to show folks that are watching, and I'll describe this to folks on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, what we're seeing here. But I'm going to bring up this, and this is the outage map, right? I want folks to see this. So we could move that to the side. All right. So these are some of the areas where the outages occurred, and as you can see across the country, as high as looks New York, Vermont. So the upper U.S. over in Seattle, other side of the country, California affected. Texas affected, folks in Arizona, Florida, they hit Florida up, right? Georgia, Maryland, of course, DC, a lot of all these red dots are affected areas. Looks like Alaska was good. Right? Alaska was good. Nobody was messing with Alaska. But a lot of folks, Illinois, over in Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, where my father is from, Phoenix, a lot of folks affected by this outage. So I don't think that this is going anywhere from the standpoint of, I think we're going to see things like this continue to happen. Sadly, I think that they're going to continue to happen. So what can you do? What can you do if you find yourself in this situation? Nothing. Ain't nothing you can do. What you gonna do? I mean, what can you do? We are at the mercy of technology. We're at the mercy of technology. And so the Republicans love, for some reason now they love Russia. But I think that Russia does this kind of stuff. So we don't know exactly where this came from. We don't know exactly who did this. And I'm sure that it's going to come out. You know what I mean? It's going to come out and we're going to see. But just like with ransom, when the companies get held for that digital ransom, when they get a virus or something, they don't exactly want to tell you every little thing because it makes them look bad, makes them look weak. And they're just not going to do that. So, we've talked about this. If you follow the show on social media, I am at the Diamond K Show on all social media. And so we talked about this on social media. And, the crazy thing about this is that Donald Trump, he comes out with these, sneakers. And like anything, he just reeks of, I'm going to say desperation, right? It's something he does. It is desperate. It's desperate. Does he? I don't even know if he even wears sneakers, right? But he comes out with these sneakers, $399, $400. The diehard Trump fans will buy them. And he debuted them over the weekend at Sneaker Con. Sneaker convention or, whatever it is, right? These folks on Fox News never, to be, you never be surprised by that. But we put this up.
Black support eroding from Joe Biden. This is connecting with Black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love this is a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics. And Trump understands culture like no politician I've ever seen.
Question for you on that point, though.
Yeah.
Will the people that are excited about the sneakers and excited about Donald Trump, will that translate into them going out and voting for Donald Trump?
Well, anybody willing to put $400 down for a pair of sneakers? Yeah, I think that's commitment and love.
I hope you're right.
It's something. It's affection. Even the sneaker thing. I was on social media last night. Very interesting. As you see black support eroding from Joe Biden, this is connecting with Black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love this is a big deal, certainly in the inner city.
So he's saying that we black people, we love sneakers, and we are so shallow and we are so ignorant that we would vote for Trump because he has some whack ass uglier than a masterpiece sneaker, ugly gold sneakers, and that's going to translate into votes. And he says that because folks in the hood want to look fresh, that means that they're going to vote for Donald Trump. No, says the black man, that is not going to translate into votes. That is not going to bring folks over to Trump. Any folks that buy these sneakers already were rocking with Donald Trump, and him releasing some sneakers is not going to bring any new voters over to him. So I hope that the folks over at Fox News understand that point. I hope that the folks over at Fox News understand that Donald Trump is not getting the hood, the inner city, if you will. There's some black people that, for whatever reason, rock with Donald Trump. That may be true, but I don't want anybody to get it twisted. You dropping some sneakers and some whack sneakers on top of that. You dropping these whack sneakers is not going to make folks vote for you. But the fact that he showed up at the sneaker convention shows that it's on his mind, that he thinks that he can connect with the inner city by dropping, something like this. I don't know, whatever. But here's the thing. He's out to make money at the end of the day. He wants to make money, and anything that he does is strictly about money. Now, speaking of money, speaking of money, you have this New York case with Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, and she says that she is ready. She is ready and prepared to seize Trump buildings if he cannot pay the money that he has been told by the judge that he needs to pay, the $354 million in this civil fraud trial. She says she is not playing with him. She is not playing with him. You're gonna have to sell a whole lot of sneakers, Donald. The judge ordered Trump to pay the $354 million. This case that New York Attorney General Letitia James has brought. She said this. She said that if he does not have the funds to pay the judgment, then they will seek enforcement, the enforcement mechanism in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets. And she said this to ABC News. It is looking really, really bad for the so-called billionaire. Here's the thing. If he's a billionaire, right, this wouldn't be nothing. He should have this money just sitting around because that's what billionaires do. I don't know too many billionaires, but I'm going to be assuming that a true billionaire has access to money. Now, Donald Trump has often inflated the net worth, often inflated things related to his business. And I don't think that this is any different. I think that he has been lying to folks for years and years. And this is no different. He's continuing to lie because that's what liars do. That's what liars do. But it is what it is. And of course, we have an election coming up. Of course, we have Joe Biden and Donald Trump in the scope. That's where this is going. So you have, on one hand, you have Donald Trump bringing out sneakers. Bringing out sneakers like he's some kind of fashion designer. He's bringing out sneakers. And what is Joe Biden doing? Donald Trump's bringing out sneakers. And Donald Trump, rather, is bringing out sneakers. Joe Biden wouldn't try nothing like that. What Joe Biden is doing is canceling $1.2 billion in student loan debt. That's what he's doing. So on one hand, you have somebody that is trying to come at folks fashion wise. Then you have somebody else that is really giving it back. The president's administration said yesterday that it is canceling $1.2 billion worth of student loans for some 153,000 people who are eligible under a program used to make good on promises, and they are increasing the loan forgiveness. So I want to say this. Now, the loan forgiveness thing, I have had folks in my life that had student loans, and they were forgiven by the Biden administration the last time, last year. And when I tell you how excited, when I tell you how happy, when I tell you that these folks that are in my life, personally, that I know, that had loans forgiven, were crying tears of joy. That is how happy the Biden administration made personal friends of mine with these the forgiveness of loans. The kind of pep that it puts in a step when somebody says, "What, $80,000? Bam! You don't owe that no more. Or $90,000, or $70,000, or $60,000, or $120,000, or whatever it was." Having that kind of burden, that kind of financial burden lifted, I have seen it, and it is something that many folks will not soon forget, and that is what the Biden administration is doing. So Donald Trump on one hand doing, Donald Trump stuff. He had Trump steaks, and this was before he was president, but he had all these kind of so-called luxury items, and Joe Biden doing something different. So that is interesting. Very interesting. Another thing that's interesting, Tiffany Haddish is getting all kind of backlash. She recently decided to go for herself, she said.
I'm sorry, Yamanika. I'm sorry, Yamanika. I'm going without you. I'm sorry. I'm going to go meet my future man out there. I'm out. Going to the Holy Land. I suggest you all do it. Why go? Why not go? On my way to Israel.
She's on her way to Israel, she says.
I'm sorry, Yamanika. I'm sorry, Yamanika.
So she's got a bunch of folks are mad at her. Some are saying that she's tone deaf. But she's going to Israel. She's on a fact finding mission. And the single comedian is over there. So is she joking? I mean, she can go to Israel. She want to go to Israel, but some folks are just not, not liking the humor. Maybe she's being funny, but she's actually, going to Israel. But many folks are upset because of the timing, the climate, and I don't mean the weather. I literally mean the political climate. Right now, some folks just not feeling jokes like that. But I don't see anything wrong with her going there. But if you want to just go there, just go. Why get on social media and make a whole production out of it? that she just leaves herself open to the backlash. She leaves herself open to it. So I don't know why she wanted to do that, but it is what it is. That's what she did. Speaking of not knowing why folks do some of the things that they do, the passengers on this American Airlines flight restrained a man with duct tape after he tried to open the plane door mid-flight. Isn't this crazy? So these passengers on flight 1219, they were heading to O'Hare Airport in Chi-Town from Albuquerque, New Mexico earlier this week when a disturbance in the cabin involving a disruptive customer prompted the plane to turn back shortly after takeoff. It's a crazy world that we live in. It is a crazy world that we live in. And as folks say, you play stupid games and you win stupid prizes. Not sure why he wanted to open the door or what was wrong with him. But he is, they had him jammed up. They had him jammed up. Something else has been making the rounds on social media. Very interesting. Young M.A., the rapper. This photo of her and her mom. So you have young M.A. and you have older M.A., right? But we have an old photo of the rapper and her mom. And this has been going viral. You could see her with her mother here. Her mother's in the red dress and she's in the black outfit. And then you have the today photo of young M.A. With her mom. You can see she's got some tats now. Her mom came up too, big time. Mom came up big time. And but this is then versus now, and that's our throwback. I think she looks great. You know what I mean? How she looks today, that's fine. And like I said, mom is all glowed up. But the old MA picture, fire. She looks really good. I like to know what happened. Like what caused her to change her look and change her appearance. I'd like to know that. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So young MA is she's doing her thing, and shout out to her. Good rapper. And I'm anxious to see what she has coming up next. All right. So here's somebody that we talk about ever so often because it comes up ever so often. And this is Dame Dash. He's always on the internet. He's talking about businesses and he did this and he did that and whoop-de-whoop. But every time I do a story on Dame Dash, it's not for something good. It is usually related to money, but it's going in the wrong direction. Dame Dash and his money go in the wrong direction. It looks like Dame may be losing all of his ties to Rockefeller after a judge has ordered him to sell the remaining shares to settle a $823,000 legal debt. Dame lost a copyright infringement lawsuit to Josh Weber. The two were working on a crime thriller titled Dear Frank, When Things Did Not Work Out. No surprise there. Something didn't work out with Dame Dash with the business partner. Are you surprised? I am not. Now, Dame tried to shop the film around under a new name, Grimy. And Weber and his production company, Muddy Waters Pictures, was granted a judgment. But surprisingly, Dame never paid it. Now, Weber's team targeted Rockefeller Records and Dame's share of the music label, obviously going after his assets, the same thing that Letitia James is talking about doing. When a judgment is rendered and the person can't pay, you go after their assets. In response, the label's co-founder co-founders, rapper Jay-Z and Biggs, objected to that move. They don't want Dame's piece of this legendary company to be compromised. And they talked about the bylaws that required board approval of all major sell-offs. But the judge was not having it. The judge found that the bylaws were voted on during a team meeting when Dame was not in attendance. He didn't even know about it. The court then ordered Rockefeller to deliver Dame's stocks certification. And so that certification is 180 days due. And when that happens, Dame's stake, as I said, is going to be on the line, or maybe he can get the money up in 180 days. That could help things. But he could lose a lot of money, and the intellectual property. Also, Jay-Z and Biggs have expressed concerns about how an outside buyer might treat the intellectual property when purchasing Dame Dash's stake in the company. It is unfortunate that this is where we are. The label has released a plethora of albums and the such, and I'm just sad that this whole thing is happening. So we'll continue to follow that. Of course, I'll be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Of course, anywhere you get your podcast, just search The Diamond K Show. Of course, hit me up on youtube.com/djdiamondk. And as I said, I will be back here tomorrow on fire-tv.com is where you go.